I actually wrote a book, the Vegan Baby Cookbook and Guide. And my favorite part of the book is actually the first half of the book, which is the guide. And so it's like I got like a superhero theme. So, the first part is like raising a vegan superhero. So that addresses like a lot of, those fears. And I think it's in chapter 2, it's slaying common challenges. And I talk about vegan parenting myths and slaying like common misconceptions. So, some of the things that you often hear from people are, and trust me, I've heard it all because I'm a content creator. So, when anything I do goes viral, of course, that ends up inviting the trolls.
Right.
And I've heard the most insane comments. But, some of the more common ones might be like, kids need animal protein, right?
No, they don't.
There's the thing about like, hey, how do you get your protein? But then there's people who specifically think that you need animal protein because they recognize, you can have protein on a vegan diet, but no, it has to be animal protein, right? But that's not true. And then there's those pervasive myths about, amino acids, which, and I wrote about this in my book, like that's not actually entirely true in terms of, not being able to get all the amino acids on a plant-based diet. All plant foods actually contain all of the amino acids that you need. They just have it in different amounts. So as long as you're eating a well-balanced vegan diet, you're fine.
Well, you see these headlines in the news that say newborn vegan baby dies of starvation because mother fed the baby almond milk for the first 9 months of their life.
Well, yeah, I want to know if a baby is not being breastfed, what do you give an infant on a vegan diet?
Well, so there's only 2 sources of food that should be the primary source of food for their first year of life. And that is either breast milk or infant formula. Those are the only 2 appropriate primary food sources. Now, of course, between the ages of like 4 to 6 months, that's when you start introducing solids, and that's their secondary source of nutrients. But for their first 12 months of life, their only like primary source of like nutrients should be either, breast milk or infant formula. Those are the only 2. And then everything else is complementary.
Are there really good, clean, vegan formulas?
So that's an interesting question. So again, it really depends on where you live, right? So here in the United States, it's a lot more difficult to get your hands on a good, clean, vegan baby formula. If you want a good, clean baby formula, you're going to have to go through a third party, and get it from overseas.
Okay, right? I'm taking notes.
Yes. So Australia actually has a brand called Sprout, and I wrote about this in my book. It's called Sprout, I think Sprout Organic, and they became like the first plant-based vegan organic like baby formula available to purchase. And you can probably get it through a third party and order it and have it shipped to the
Black
United
market
States.
ship.
Yeah.
I'm flying to Australia, stocking up now.
It's very interesting, like the comments you made about, baby formulas and the ingredients. That whole industry is very shady.
Evil.
Right?
Evil.
Okay. So, we're talking about meat and dairy industry and all these powerful industries, right, that are preventing us from progressing as a country here in the United States, where I live. And it's the same thing. The baby food formula industry is just as powerful, right? So they actually, how corporate lobbying works, where you can lobby the government, basically, kind of influence politicians with money and donations to their campaigns to kind of sway how they pass legislation. Baby formula companies do the same thing. And they pay politicians to try to prevent them from passing progressive laws like paid parental leave. So both, for dads and moms, not just the maternity leave, but also parental leave for the fathers as well, which is something that other countries have, but the US does not have. And a lot of people don't even know what they're missing here in the United States.
Yeah, because they don't care about
your baby needs skin to skin. Yes. Okay, whether it's and mom and dad. And
yes.
I mean, that's super, super interesting. So you're saying that you kind of have to do your research when it comes to the baby formulas, but ultimately there are plant-based, organic, vegan formulas. Hopefully they don't break the bank, but breastfeeding is probably one of the better options if you can.
if you can, right? Because not all women can, but if you have the ability to, which I know, not everyone has the privilege of being able to breastfeed, or they have to go back to work, and it can be very difficult. But if you can breastfeed, it is the best source of nutrition for your child, because when you breastfeed, like the saliva interacts with, your baby saliva interacts with your body and literally tells your body what they
to
need.
give them.
Do they
I read about that?
But do they like bite your boob sometimes?
They maybe
later
on.
So
when their teeth come in, some women, again, like not everyone's experience is the same. Like my kids didn't bite me, except with my first child. He bit me one time. It startled me so badly. I let out a scream.
He got scared. He was like, okay, never again.
He never bit me again. I think I startled him when he startled me.
Good.
And he felt so bad, and he never did it again. Yeah.
That's nice of him. So what challenges have you actually faced in raising vegan children? It doesn't seem, well, besides the biting, it doesn't seem breastfeeding was an issue. Besides, they seem to be healthy. So what challenges have you actually faced?
Yeah, so really the main challenge is the fact that we just don't live in a vegan world. So you just have to go the extra mile with trying to make sure that, your child sticks to these values that you're raising them to have. Right now I have a 3-year-old and a 10-month-old. So
who are adorable as cluck. I looked on your Instagram. I was like, wait, these are her children. They need to be in commercials, like
they're glowing diapers. From the plant
with their big cheekies. You're so cute.
Oh, thank you so much. I love them to pieces. So and cute. The challenge is kind of raising them in a non-vegan world, but the good news is, even though vegans comprise only a small percentage of the population, the number of people ditching meat and dairy is growing, and the public perception of veganism is shifting, not as fast as I would like it, but compared to, like, say, vegans in the 80s, I'd say that things are getting a lot easier, and that includes raising vegan kids. So some of the challenges that you might face raising a vegan kid, it really just stems from like those like societal pressures, like, because we're social creatures, right? So we often seek validation from other family, from our families, our peers, our communities. And when you don't really have a community of like-minded individuals who are raising their kids the same way, you might internally feel like you're being judged, right, when you're not, right? Like there are times when because like one of the myths, right, about raising a vegan kid is that, veganism is going to stunt your child's growth. Right. I would find myself at times just questioning, whenever I would drop my kid off from school, just kind of subconsciously comparing his height to other kids. But even though no one's really thinking that, right? Like it's just all in my head, because I know those are like comments that I've gotten, or those are like, myths that persist about vegan children.
Meanwhile,
I know he's growing just fine.
He's like an NFL player compared to all of the other ones.